Hey guys, it's Erica here and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a trying new makeup video. I've got lots of things to try, so I'm really excited. I have some things that are new to me and some things that are brand new, just dropped to the Australian beauty market. If you've seen my latest Will I Buy It video, then you'll probably know what's going to be in this video. But basically I have the new Natasha Denona Glam palette to try. I've also got the new Hourglass Infinity setting powder to try too. Looks like that. I have a new blush from Shiseido. They released a makeup line earlier this year, I believe, so I picked up a blush from them too. I have the new Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Concealer, and I've also got some of the new Rouge Artist Lippies too, so the ones where you can actually use the cap as the holder. I also have the new Mcgrath Dark Star Mascara to try. I have the new Anastasia brow pen to try too, the one that has the felt tip on the end of it. I have the new liquid liner from Shiseido, so it's the one that has this teeny tiny applicator on the end. And lastly, I also have the new setting spray from Hourglass. This is the Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. So if you like this video, please show me that you do by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel, and let's get started. Okay, so I've already prepped my skin. I've actually gone in with the new Dior Hydra Life Matte Dew Hydration Sorbet Droplet Emulsion. This is actually fairly new and I haven't seen this before from Dior, so I think it's a new addition to their revamped Hydra Life line. So it's basically I guess a matte sort of primer that you can apply prior to foundation. So I've just gone in with that off camera. I've also just put some of my eye cream on. So today I'm using the Toucher the Pearl, which is like a tinted eye cream. It does have enough coverage, I think, to be a very light concealer if you wanted to use it as a concealer too, but I prefer it actually under my base as an eye cream. Okay, so I'm just going to continue on. So I'm just going to apply this first before I do anything else. This is my holy grail, can't live without, most favourite lip conditioner. It's from Dr. Dennis Gross, and it's called the Hyaluronic Marine Collagen Lip Cushion. I can't live without this, basically. If my lips are cracked, dry, flaky, no matter what they are, this just kicks my lips back into shape, and it's something that I will always make sure I have on hand. And it has a bit of a plumping effect as well, but it's not like a stingy effect. You know how some of those lip plumpers can actually be like quite harsh and actually give you this sort of burning sensation on your lips? Well, this doesn't do that basically. It's just a very, it's a cream. It looks like a cream, and it's not even like a sticky, glossy type consistency either. So I'll show you on my finger. It just looks like a white sort of cream, basically. It has no smell either. There's no like scent or anything to it. So I'm just going to apply that to my lips. And let that sink in while I get on with the rest of my makeup today. And it seems to have this way of defining your lips too, so it's hard to explain unless you've tried it, but it seems to sort of ever so slightly plump them and I guess define the contours of your lips a bit more. I don't know, it's really hard to kind of explain if you haven't tried it. Now while I wait for my lip conditioner to sink in, I'm actually just gonna do my eyes first, and that way if I get, you know, any fallout underneath the eye, I can just use a wipe to wipe that away. So actually I'm just gonna prep the eyes by using the new Matte Velvet Skin Concealer from Makeup Forever as a base. And I'm not going to actually set that concealer because I want the base to be, I guess, a bit wet and sticky so that the eyeshadow will actually stick on it on my eyelid a bit better. So I've just grabbed my Natasha Denona Glam palette.
Hi guys, it's Editing Erica here. So I completely forgot to swatch this palette for you. So I'm actually going to go ahead and insert a clip of me doing that for you now.
Okay, so once again, this is what the palette looks like. So there's 15 shades there. I'm going to start from here, which is technically the top, but the bottom on camera, and I'll do swatches from the top like this all the way across, and then again back at the start all the way across, and then again all the way across. So this is the shade Transition. I don't know how well you'll see it. It's a pretty faint sort of grey beige shade. Next up we have the shade Crease. Next up is Inner Corner. And then the final two on the first row are Outer Eyelid, so that's Outer Eyelid. And this is Center Eyelid. So next up we have the shade Center Eyelid. This is the next row. So that's Center Eyelid. Next up is the shade Lash Line. And then next we have, sorry, that was Inner Corner, the next one. And this one is Lash Line. So that's Lash Line. So Center Eyelid, Inner Corner and Lash Line on the next row. The last two on the second row are Blend. So that's Blend. And Smoke. That's Smoke. And then the next row, the last row, we have starting with the shade Brow Bone. So that's Brow Bone. Next is Outer Eyelid. That's Outer Eyelid. And then we have Center Eyelid. And the last two for the bottom row are Outer Eyelid. So that's Outer Eyelid. And Center Eyelid. Okay, so that's all for the swatches. Back to the video. Now, if you guys have this palette already or you've seen videos on it already, you'll know that the shades are actually named after, I guess, where to place them. But just use that as a guide. I mean, just because it says, you know, where to put something doesn't mean that you actually have to do that. But if you find it helpful as a guide, then by all means, you know, if that makes it a bit easier, you know, go ahead and do that too. I'm gonna use the shade actually Crease today first, that one there, in my crease. So I actually, in this case, I am gonna do what it says, but do as I say, not as I do, as they say. So I'm just gonna use my MAC 224 brush. I'm not too sure what kind of look I'm going to do today. I'm just going to kind of have a play and just sort of see what grabs my attention and what shadows stand out to me today. Okay, so moving on, I'm gonna go in with the shade Smoke now, this one here, and I'm just gonna actually use this is a Sephora Pro Crease number 10 brush, and I'm just gonna go over the crease shade with the Smoke shade to help blend out that crease shade. Okay, so next up I'm going to take my MAC 242 brush, and I'm just going to actually spray some Fix Plus on that because I do want to see how these shadows perform wet. And then I'm going to actually take the center eyelid shade, that like rustic antique gold looking shade. And just tapping that on my lid. I'm not trying to be too precise with it because I'm going to go in and blend again. And before I blend that out, I'm actually going to, on the other side of my 242, so the side that I didn't use, I'm actually going to take the outer eyelid shade here. So it's like a grey kind of gunmetal looking shade. And I'm going to wet my brush again. And I'm just going to apply that to the outer corner of my eye. And now I'm just going to also take this is a Sephora Pro Small Shadow Brush number 15, so it's a much smaller eye shading brush. And I'm just going to blend out that line where those two shades meet now. Okay, and now I'm just going to take just a fluffy brush. This is actually a little Lancome one. It does have a number 5 on it, so I guess it's a number 5 brush from them. But I bought this many moons ago, so it may not be available anymore. It's clean, so there's nothing on it. I'm just going to go over everything that I've done with that brush now and just further blend everything together to make sure there's no harsh lines. And of course, when you blend, you do lose some of the shadows, so I will just re-add some of those shades again. So I'm just going to tightline my waterline now. I'm going to use the Burberry Eye Definer in Midnight Ash number 3. So it's just like this kind of sort of antique, I guess, green colour. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's not quite as harsh as black. And give my lashes a curl. Okay, so I've just done one eye now. I'm gonna just swipe away the fallout with a makeup wipe. And then I'll just go ahead and do the other eye off camera to save some time, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've just finished both eyes now. So I've only done the top, not the bottom, because of course I'm going to do base and concealer and everything, and then I'll go back in and do the bottom half of my eyes. But first I'm actually going to apply my liner. So this is the Shiseido ArchLiner, and this is the one that has that like funny teeny tiny applicator tip. So that's actually why I wanted to try it, because I thought, you know, some of them can be really quite long and therefore quite tricky to sort of get on the right angle, or so I thought this teeny tiny one would hopefully make it easier to do a wing. I don't have the best track record with wings. I'm not really a wing person, but I am curious just to see how this pen actually performs, so we're going to give it a go today. So I'm going to start by lining my eyes just normally first, and then we'll get towards the end and do hopefully a bit of a nice wing tip at the end. Okay, so far so good. I've found the little tip actually makes it quite easy to do at least the top liner, and actually I can really get into the corner of my eye. Because it is so tiny, I can get into the corner of my eye really easily to do that bit that's always just that little bit hard to reach. Okay, so that's the first wing done. Not bad. I can't believe how easy that was to do with this particular teeny tiny pen. So I'm someone who's notoriously bad at wings. I suck at them. I don't really wear them unless I'm, I guess, going out and I want like a really glammed up look. So I don't get a lot of practicing to do them either. And actually, I'm pretty impressed with that wing for someone who is, you know, a notorious wing avoider. Yeah. That's the first time in a while where I've actually felt, you know, confident in the liquid liner that I'm using to do the wing in the first place. So I'm just gonna do the other eye now. And I don't know if you can see, but because the brush is so tiny, you're less likely to make a mistake. Even just stamping the liner on the top of the eye is actually a bit less scary, because it's so small that if I make a mistake, it's not going to be as obvious as if I was using, you know, a liner with a longer brush. So my wings aren't quite the same on each eye. I think this one's a tiny bit longer. So I'm just gonna actually even this one up off camera quickly and just try and get it more in line with this one. This one's actually the one I prefer today. So I've just tried to tidy up this side a bit more so that it's more matching this side. I don't know how well I did, but that's okay. I'm a complete wing novice. This video is just supposed to be, you know, a bit of fun, nothing too serious anyway. It's just makeup. It just comes off anyway in the end. But that's what I've done so far, and actually that pen is fantastic. I'm so surprised in it. That little teeny tiny fine tip worked like a breeze. It's very responsive too, so you just need the lightest, the softest touch with this pen, and ink will come out. You don't have to like push really hard or anything, or you know, push so hard that you know, hurt your eye or that you muck up your wing. It just needs the softest, lightest touch, and ink just comes pouring out of it. So in a good way though. You know, I would prefer an inky pen over a pen that, you know, you have to really like stab your eye with to actually get product to come out of. But yeah, anyway, let's move on now. And there was quite a bit of fallout too with that Natasha Denona Glam palette, so I'm just gonna go under my eyes once more, just to make sure that I've got all the fallout. So I don't have a new foundation to try today, so I'm actually just going to go in with my Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This one I think has quite good coverage, and it is buildable too, so you can actually get a higher coverage effect if that's what you're after. So I'm just going to put that on my It Cosmetics brush. This is the Love is the Foundation brush. And I'm just going to make sure I take that under my neck as well. Okay, so I'm just going to do my concealer now. So I'm just going to take that same new concealer, the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin concealer. So this is a high coverage multi-use concealer. It says here 24-hour wear as well. This is the shade 2.3. And the Dior foundation, I have the shade 1W in that one. So this is a doe foot applicator like the Tarte Shape Tape is as well, which is good. I'm just going to blend that out with my beauty blender. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I've just blended out that concealer, and actually I like the finish. It's nice. It is obviously matte, but I love matte concealers anyway, but it blended out really well. And actually what I found is it didn't dry as quickly as the Tarte Shape Tape, so you have a little bit more play time with it too, to sort of, you know, press it into the skin. The Tarte Shape Tape dries really fast, but this one I found, yeah, I had a little more time to kind of play with it too. Right, so I'm just gonna take the new Hourglass Infinity Powder now. It does just come in the one shade, so it doesn't seem to have like a tint of any sort, which is good. It looks as though it's just translucent. So that's a swatch on my finger there. So it looks like it has a slight tint, but when you put it, I'll show you on the back of my hand, it doesn't really have a tint to it once you blend it out. You can see it just blends to nothing really. So I'm just gonna take the Hourglass powder now and just set my face with that, particularly focusing on here to where I want to lay down the bronzer. Okay, so I don't have a new bronzer, so I am just going to use, this is, well, it's new to me, but yeah, I think these launched a couple months ago now, the new reformulated NARS bronzers. So this is the shade Vallarta, which is, I guess, on the cooler side of the shades on offer. I would normally be a Laguna in the original one, which is also quite cool toned, but apparently the Laguna shade in this new reformulated line is actually warmer, so I kind of steered away from that. I prefer a cooler bronzer that I can kind of use as a, you know, bronzer, so a contour as well, you know, if I feel like it. I prefer a bronzer that I can kind of you know, use for both contour and bronzer, or bronzer, I guess, as you would call it. So I'm just gonna take that now. And I'm actually just gonna use the same brush that I used before to set my face. So this is the Sigma Tapered Face. This is number F25 it is. Okay, so next up I'm going to use the new Shiseido Minimalist Whipped Powder Blush. This is the shade Eiko or Eiko number 4. So it's like this nice kind of bronzy coloured blush. But I've got enough in the cap, so I'm just going to use that. I'm just going to use my finger to apply that blush. Oh, it's very pigmented. Okay. What a nice colour. It's this lovely like terracotta sort of tan bronzy shade. Very nice. It blends out really well too, just seamlessly. I can't see sort of any harsh lines or anything. Okay, so I'm just gonna do my brows now with that Anastasia brow pen, but I'm just gonna take a new makeup wipe and just quickly wipe off any excess foundation that I might have got in them when I was applying that Dior foundation. So I'm just giving it a shake and I'll zoom you in. So I've only used this once before this video. I did try it when it first arrived, and it is very inky and very responsive are the two, I guess, bits of advice I can give you. So it does just need a very light hand, light touch. The harder you push, obviously, the more product comes out. And those hair-like strokes are actually, they are quite hard to, I guess, get the hang of. I'm just brushing out the product as I go, just so it doesn't build up too quickly, too much too quickly. And actually the brush just softens it a bit too. So if you are a bit heavy-handed, and if you just grab a brow brush and brush through the hairs, that seems to kind of soften the look anyway. So that's with the brow pen and of course without the brow pen. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish off the eyes now. I'm gonna take the crease shade, so this one here again. I'm just gonna apply that to the bottom lash line. And then I'm just gonna take that that Lancome number 5 brush that I used before, that really sort of fluffy one. It's a clean one, and then just blend out that eyeshadow on the bottom lash line. Okay, so next up I'm going to go in with my lipstick now. So I'm gonna use the shade, what's this? The shade 104 Bold Cinnamon in the Makeup Forever Artist Rouge lipsticks. So again, this is the, you're meant to put the cap on the end and then hold it like a lip brush and apply it like that. So let's give that a go. So that's like a nice sort of terracotta nudie shade there. The texture's nice, it feels good. It's not a complete matte finish, but it definitely, it looks matte to me. It's not matte, it's not wet, but it's somewhere in between. It's, I guess, like a velvety kind of finish to it. It has a nice feeling on the lips. It doesn't feel drying so far. Yeah, it feels like a velvety sort of finish and texture. Okay, so what I'm gonna do lastly is I've got to apply my mascara, but I'm actually gonna apply my setting spray first because I've found sometimes with non-waterproof mascaras, and this one from Pat McGrath Labs, the new Dark Star one, is not waterproof, so I'm conscious of that too. I'm actually going to apply my setting spray first and then the mascara after that, because I have found sometimes the setting spray causes the mascara to run or transfer, because obviously, you know, your eyes get a bit wet even if you try to cover them. I find they still, you know, get some setting spray on them. So I'm going to spray my face first and then let that dry and then go in with the mascara. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in with the Pat McGrath Labs Dark Star Mascara. So that's what the wand looks like. Looks like the Too Faced Better Than Sex wand. So it's like bristle brush, not the, I guess, rubbery, spiky brushes that you sometimes see. It's a drier formula too, which I always prefer. I love a good, like, I guess, drier mascara as opposed to like really wet and so wet that it, you know, sometimes transfers, you know, straight away. So that's the mascara on now. So my lashes, I think they look pretty good. I think it is volumizing and lengthening. I think it is doing, has done a good job of doing both. So actually, yeah, I quite like that effect it's given me to my lashes. And yeah, it is nice that it's drier because I don't feel like, you know, if I make a mistake, I can just kind of flick it off with a cotton bud quite easily, whereas obviously a wetter mascara, you know, has more chance of staining. So I quite like that it's drier. Yeah, that's it's quite nice actually. And with the setting spray, I didn't even feel that go on my face much at all actually. The review I read of this, one of the reviews I read on this on the Mecca website, says that you know you won't even feel it going on your face because it's so fine, and that reviewer is right. I could barely feel it going onto my face. So yeah, that's a good thing, I guess. It has a slight scent to it. I don't know what it is, but it has a slight smell to it. Nothing too strong or overpowering, but there is a scent there. I can't quite pick what it is though. So it's meant to be a more glowy effect. I think I can see some glow now that it's started to, I guess, really sink into my skin and it's had time to sit on my face. I can see a slight glowiness to my skin, which is quite nice. Nothing oily or greasy though. Just, yeah, a soft glow, I guess I would call it. Okay, so yeah, otherwise, everything I've tried today, I've really enjoyed. The new Glam palette is really cool. It's great to see, you know, the makeup companies coming out with, you know, cooler toned eyeshadows, because there's so many warm palettes out there on the market. So it's a nice change to see, you know, some cooler toned eyeshadow. I really enjoyed the Makeup Forever concealer. I think that's going to be a new favourite of mine, just because it didn't dry as quickly, you know, as the Tarte Shape Tape, which is good because it gives you more time to sort of play with it, you know, and really push it into the skin properly. I loved the Hourglass setting powder. I thought that was really, really nice. It just gave this like lovely soft effect to my skin, you know, soft airbrushed effect to my skin, and I can't even really see it at all on the skin now that I've added the setting powder anyway. It's just kind of disappeared. It's invisible in a way. which is a good thing. I don't want to see cakey powder on my face, so yeah, quite impressed with that. Yeah, loved the Makeup Forever lipsticks. I think they are a really cool idea, turning them into like a lip pen to apply them. The brow pen's going to take some more practice for me. That is quite hard to use, quite tricky to use to get the sort of, you know, pressure right when you're applying it. I loved the Shiseido ArchLiner Ink, the liquid liner pen. That tiny, teeny fine tip just makes the job so much easier than ever before for me. So I'll definitely be using that one again and again. Okay, so that's all for this video today. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked my video. Give it a thumbs up if you did to show me you liked it, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.